Greetings, YouTube. Let's talk superpowers. In particular, passive superpowers. What I mean by passive superpowers is things that don't have a projection effect. They don't have a controlling effect. They're not external in their nature. So, for example, blasting and super strength and flying and teleportation. Those would all be active powers. Passive powers are more things like supervision, great hearing, things like that. So I got to myself thinking, what would be the best passive power? And the first thing I thought of, oddly enough, was material or matter detection. So you would be able to detect specific types of matter at range, preferably at any range. That would be cool, you know, like in the universe. And you'd be able to know exactly where it was and the quantity and the depth it was in. It was, they say it was buried or something like that. And that would be incredibly lucrative and also useful for gathering intelligence. For example, you would be able to know exactly how much refined uranium there is in Iran and where it is. So being able to tell your government, or any government, depending on how mercenary you are, where deposits of certain types of chemicals or materials are, because it could be biotoxins and things like that, could be very important. You could be a patriot, or you could just be a mercenary that takes contracts as what you will. But you'd make a whole lot of money in a very short order, because you would take an upfront fee and then require them to give you a 1% of the gross profits, and you're set for life. You just have to do that once a day, and in a week you'd be a billionaire. But yes, you can make a lot of money that way. And that's also a fairly safe power, because it isn't going to make a lot of people really nervous, because the type of information you're going to be gathering is information that could be gathered by other means that are just vastly less efficient. And yes, that is a cat in the background. You can probably see her tail in the window. I think there are birds outside, I'm not positive. But then I thought, okay, that's interesting. It makes a lot of money. But it isn't really super powery in some ways. You know, you really couldn't have a character based around that. Oh, you could have in certain eras of the DC universe when they had like power, a matter-eating lad, things like that. Yeah, if you were running a game or living in a universe where there's a matter-eating lad, you could have a matter detection person. Yeah, that would work. But it isn't really superpowers in the sense of, you know, being in a costume and running around in tights. So that got me thinking, what would be one that would be passive and still kind of fit that? And I thought clairvoyance, the ability to see things at a distance. And again, since we're going to crank this all the way up to all the points into one ability, it's going to be anywhere in the universe. And suddenly you can see anywhere. And you can find anything. You need to find something's lost something. If it's a famous object and you have a picture of it, you find it instantly. Someone's lost in the woods, boom, I can give you their exact coordinates right now. Someone's kidnapped, I can tell you where they are. Lost and exploited children, you could solve those cases every single day. Disappeared citizens, boom, I can tell you where they are. You want to find where your estranged husband is? I can tell you. Oh, you need a terrorist located? Not a problem. But it also means you could do things like find out about passwords and find about where things that people that don't want things known are hidden. So this power could be very dangerous, because because great deals of paranoia are very much present in every government, and they're going to not be happy if there was a person that could find out all of their secrets. Think how paranoid the U.S. government would be if suddenly there was a person that could see anything. Yeah. That might get you in some trouble. They could turn you into an asset in the sense that you disappear and they make you work for them forever. So this is a power that you really have to be careful with. You'd have to, if you really wanted to survive, you'd have to like get a PI license, a private investigator license, and this just be someone that finds people or finds pets and things like that. And you just, even though it would take you seconds to do it, you have to wait days to result. Yeah, I found the person you're looking for. Here you go. If you do that, you could do it on a low-level scale, and you could probably survive and make some money at it. And you could help scientists find deposits and things like lost objects, things like that, for a great piece of artwork. We don't know where this great piece of artwork is, and I've gathered some evidence, and I know where that painting that was stolen 30 years ago is, because you know exactly where it is, because you can see it. These are the two passive powers that I really thought of. My brain glommed on the idea of either being able to detect matter at a distance or being a clairvoyant. Because a clairvoyant is just kind of cool, just to like be able to close your eyes and then soar your field of view anywhere. Think about that. Being able to look at Mars or look at stars 40,000 light years away. You know, or just let your eye soar through all of the wreckage of Chernobyl, a place where no one can go, and you can give them exact information of what it looks like. That would be awesome. And if you could record it, you know, onto a medium, that would be even better, but a lot of powers don't work that way. A lot of powers are they're personally based, and that's they made it that way because you need to have the character in the story be important because you're driving a comic book. There are certain tropes that we have to follow, I guess. So what would be the passive powers that you would think of? So I've blathered enough about superpowers. I want to hear what you have to say. Maybe right now.